I'm thinking about lost tunnels and buried arks and things. And someone's shaking my arm, and it's the middle of the night, and it's dark outside, and it's my mom. And she's like, get up, get up. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't have to be there for 5 hours. Leave me alone. So she says to me, no, something's wrong with the gas company. Nothing is really that easy, and if you don't go there right now, you're going to wind up with nothing. So she turned out to be right. I got to the clock, and it was 5:45 in the morning. Atlantic Avenue is blocked off. The manhole cover's open. And then the gas company crew, like 20 guys running around, and the head engineer of gas distribution is walking around shaking his head in disgust and walking away from the open manhole. So I go up to him and I'm like, hey, what's going on here? He says, you drew a blank, there's nothing under there, blah, blah, blah. The exact words I can't repeat in the mixed audio, so you can kind of imagine what he said. And so he says, look inside the manhole. There's a 3-foot drop with dirt underneath, and we're leaving. There's nothing there. Now, remember I told you originally that space on top was filled in with dirt to within 1.5 feet of the ceiling of the tunnel? So when you look in from the street, all you would see is a 3-foot drop with dirt underneath. It looked like nothing was there. So I said, okay, hold on a minute. How about let me take a look for myself? And so I prevailed on this guy, and he said, okay, you have 5 minutes, and whatever you're doing, do it quick, because we're tying a cable around you, and in 5 minutes, we're just going to drag you out. So they put a cable around me, gave me an air tank and a gas mask, and a gas detector, and a 7-foot crowbar to beat up the 5-foot rat, and a walkie-talkie. So in about 2 seconds flat, I crawled from the manhole cover to within 3 or 4 feet short of the concrete wall, and I stopped. Why? Because at that point, the dirt went up and touched the roof of the tunnel, so you couldn't see the concrete wall. All you see is the dirt touching the roof, and it looked like the thing just ended into nothing. So then I'm in this crevice, 70 feet down Atlantic Avenue with time running out, and I'm like, okay, now what do I do? So I said, what did Indiana Jones do in the movie last night? He couldn't find the entrance to the Well of the Souls right away. He dug my hand. So I dug my hand, and I found the concrete wall. Then I dug a little bit more, and I saw there was an opening molded into the concrete, but plugged up with cobblestones and bricks. So I went and pulled out the radio to tell the gas company guys to come down because I found the way in, but I couldn't talk. All I could do was laugh into the radio because all that went through my head were the experts telling me all the reasons why it's not there because they can't find it. So then, eventually we broke through the wall, and just like Raiders of the Lost Ark, a blast of cold air came out from the other side. So then the head engineer of the gas company pushes his way up to the front of the line, and he sticks his head into the opening in the wall, and he looks around, and he pulls his head back in and says, okay, we're leaving now. I'm like, what do you mean we're leaving now? We didn't even go inside yet. Remember I told you there was no stairway and no pile of dirt? He says, well, there's a 15-foot drop down to the floor, and you might jump in, but you ain't jumping out again, and we can't bring ladders down here because they don't fit. So I said, give me 20 bucks. He's like, for what? I said, just give me 20 bucks. So I went out to the corner hardware store and bought the chain ladder. And that's how we got inside that day. And then we walked down to where we are right about now, and he turns around and says, when we get back to my office, remind me to call the Port Authority. I'm like, the Port Authority? For what? He says, well, I think we're walking for hours, and we're in New Jersey now. Street in downtown Brooklyn. So that's how the tunnel got discovered.